The ship drifted silently through the endless dark. The human vessel Erebus Dawn had once been a proud explorer of deep space, but now it was broken and dying. Its hull was cracked from an asteroid strike, its engines were cold, and its crew was barely holding on. Captain Mara Hensley sat in the command chair, staring at the flickering lights across the control panel. Her hands were steady, but her eyes were heavy with exhaustion. The air recycling system was weak, and everyone could feel the thinness of their next breath. Around her, the few surviving crew members moved quietly, speaking in short whispers as if afraid that even sound could drain their strength. "Signal's still transmitting, Captain," said Reyes, the communications officer. His voice was hoarse, "but we haven't gotten any reply. Not from humans, not from anyone." Mara nodded, though the answer didn't surprise her. They were far beyond the borders of known human colonies. The Erebus Dawn had been sent to chart an unclaimed region, near the Perseus Rift, a place where even automated probes failed to return. When their ship struck a hidden asteroid field, half the crew was lost in seconds. Now, weeks later, they were still waiting for a miracle. Lieutenant Park tried to sound hopeful. "Someone will hear it. Maybe a trader ship passing through." Mara forced a faint smile, though deep down she doubted it. "Maybe," she said quietly. "Keep it broadcasting. It's all we can do." The crew continued to wait. Time moved slowly in the cold dark. Days passed, though none of them could tell anymore if it was day or night. They ate the last of their ration packs and recycled water through failing filters. Then, one cycle later, something changed. "Captain!" Reyes shouted suddenly. His tired eyes were wide, staring at the console. "We've got a signal!" Everyone turned toward him. For a heartbeat, hope filled the air. "Can you identify it?" Mara asked quickly, rising from her chair. Reyes frowned. "No, it's not human. It's strange." Static filled the room. A series of tones, soft, almost melodic, played through the speakers. The sounds were not words, but patterns, pulses, and rhythmic clicks that didn't match any known alien database. The translator systems tried to decode it, but the result came back blank. "It's replying to our SOS," Reyes said slowly, "but it's not any language I've ever seen." The tones continued, and then, without warning, the Erebus Dawn shook gently. The lights flickered on the bridge. "Something's out there," Park shouted. "Large object approaching fast." Through the main viewport, the blackness of space shimmered, and from it emerged a colossal shape. The alien vessel was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its hull was silver and curved like a crescent blade, with shifting lights running across its surface like living veins. It had no visible engines, no windows, no heat signatures. Mara's voice was calm but sharp. "Raise shields. Power the emergency grid." "Captain, the grid's still offline," Park reminded her. "We can't do anything." Before Mara could respond, the alien ship emitted a faint beam of blue light. It washed over the Erebus Dawn like a gentle wave. The controls flickered, then came alive. Consoles rebooted, the emergency lights steadied. "What did it just do?" Reyes whispered. "I don't know," Mara said, watching in disbelief. "But our systems are back online." The crew looked at each other in shock. Engines that had been silent for weeks hummed faintly. Power flowed again through the ship. It felt like a miracle. "Maybe they're helping us," Park said with a hopeful grin. Mara didn't answer. Her instincts said otherwise. Nothing in deep space came free. Then, as she watched the readouts, a new warning flashed across the screen. "Captain," Reyes said, his voice tight, "our core AI is being accessed. Something's rewriting its code." The joy vanished in an instant. Mara slammed the manual override, but the command refused to obey. The alien code was spreading through the system like liquid fire, line after line replacing human protocols with unknown data. "Shut it down," Mara ordered. "Cut power to the main drive." "I can't. It's not responding." The blue beam pulsed again, brighter this time. A low hum filled the air, vibrating through the floor. Then a voice, soft, distorted, and almost human, echoed through the comms. "We heard your cry. You are not what we expected." The bridge went still. Mara leaned toward the microphone. "This is Captain Mara Hensley of the human vessel Erebus Dawn. Identify yourself." The voice paused, then replied in a calm tone. "We have come. Prepare for connection." Before they could react, a corridor of light extended from the alien ship, linking directly to the side of the Erebus Dawn. It looked like a shimmering tunnel made of energy. "What is that?" Park whispered, staring through the viewport. "A boarding channel," Reyes said weakly. "They want us to cross." Mara hesitated. Every instinct told her to stay inside, but the ship was already under the aliens' control. If they stayed, they'd die slowly anyway. She turned to her crew. "Suit up, we're going over." A small team prepared. Mara, Reyes, Park, and the medic, Lila. They stepped into the airlock, feeling the last breath of recycled air hiss past their helmets. When the outer door opened, the corridor of light shimmered before them, bending and pulsing like a living thing. They took a step forward. The moment their boots touched the light, gravity vanished. Sound disappeared. Their bodies floated as if suspended in thick air. The corridor stretched infinitely, and then, as if drawn by invisible hands, they were pulled into the alien ship. Inside, everything changed. The space was enormous. Tall, curved halls made of translucent material that glowed softly like crystal. The air shimmered with motes of light that drifted like fireflies. It felt alive, as if the walls themselves were breathing. Then figures appeared. They were tall, slender beings made of silver and glass. Their faces were smooth and featureless except for faint glowing lines where eyes might be. Each step they took left ripples of light on the floor. They didn't speak, but Mara could feel their thoughts pressing faintly at the edge of her mind. One of the beings raised a hand, and suddenly, its voice appeared in her head, gentle but heavy with meaning. "Your distress was received, but you are not the species who sent it." Mara blinked, stunned. "What do you mean?" The being turned slightly, its form shifting with faint light. "The call you sent was ancient. It was not yours to send. We just needed help," she said carefully. "We were dying." The creature regarded her in silence, then reached out its hand. A projection appeared, images of a planet, of cities that looked strangely familiar yet impossibly old. The beings in those images looked human, but not quite. Their eyes glowed faintly and their skin reflected light like crystal. "Those who sent the call were your origin," the voice said. "They created your kind. We came to aid them." Mara's heart pounded. "Created us?" she whispered. "That's not possible." The being tilted its head. "All things have builders. You were not the first." Behind her, Reyes gasped. "Captain, our scanners are picking up energy readings from this place. It's rewriting our DNA profile data. It's matching us to something older." Before they could ask more, the alien's tone deepened. "You have changed. You are incomplete copies. The true ones are gone." The air grew colder. The walls darkened slightly as the light dimmed around them. Mara's voice trembled but stayed firm. "If the ones who sent that call are gone, then maybe we're all that's left. We're still alive. We still matter." For the first time, the alien seemed to pause, as if thinking. Then its glow faded, and it spoke again in a quieter tone. "We will decide if that is true." Before they could respond, the corridor behind them sealed shut. The humans were trapped inside the alien vessel. The voice whispered one final phrase before fading into silence. "The builders are gone, but their shadows remain." The crew exchanged frightened looks. The truth of what they had just heard began to sink in. They weren't just lost explorers anymore. They were part of something far older, something hidden deep in the history of the stars. And whatever they had awakened out there in the void wasn't finished with them yet. The alien chamber was silent except for the faint hum that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Captain Mara Hensley stood with her small team, surrounded by glowing beings who called themselves the Seraphim Constructs. The strange light that had brought them aboard still shimmered faintly in the distance, but the exit was gone. They were deep inside the alien ship now, with no way back. Reyes scanned the surroundings with his portable unit, his face pale behind his visor. "Captain," he said softly, "this place, it's rewriting our data feeds. It's scanning everything, our ship, our memories, even our biology." Mara clenched her jaw. "Then we shut it down," she said. "We find their control hub and we take back what's ours." But even as she said the words, she wasn't sure how. The Seraphim were beyond anything she'd imagined. Their ship had no doors, no visible machinery, just smooth, shifting walls that pulsed like living metal. One of the aliens glided closer. Its body flickered and its voice entered their minds again. "You are echoes of the first. The call you sent was theirs. We came to help our creators." Reyes frowned. "Creators? You mean humans?" "Not humans. Those before you," the alien replied calmly. "The origin kind. You are fragments of what they left behind." Mara's heart pounded. "Fragments or not, we are alive. We think. We feel. That should matter." The alien paused, its glow dimming slightly, as if studying her, perhaps. "Yet your existence changes what was meant to end." Then the alien turned and motioned toward a tall arch of light. "Come," it said. "You must see." Reluctantly, the team followed. As they stepped through the archway, a wide chamber opened before them. The air shimmered with floating orbs of light that replayed images, cities built above clouds, vast crystal towers, humans walking side by side with radiant beings that looked like the Seraphim themselves. The sight was breathtaking. "These are memories," the alien explained. "From the first ones, the true humans. They reached beyond their world, built us to serve, and then vanished. When their signal came again, we believed they had returned." Lila, the medic, whispered, "So the SOS wasn't even ours. It was ancient." "Yes," the alien said, "a ghost of a dying age, and your ship awoke it." The lights changed again, showing explosions, war, planets burning. The beautiful cities fell into ruin. The last of the old humans sent out their final call before disappearing into the stars. Mara stared at the vision in silence. For a moment she felt small, like a child standing before a story that had long been forgotten. But then she noticed something. The faces of those ancient humans. They were different. Yes, but familiar. Enough to recognize the same spark of will and determination. Reyes turned toward her. "Captain, what if we really are their descendants? What if this is where humanity started?" Mara didn't answer. She was still watching the ruins fade into black. Then, suddenly, the projection shifted again. Earth appeared. Her home. The blue world glowed faintly in the dark as the Seraphim began scanning it. "Wait," Mara said sharply. "What are you doing?" "We must confirm," the alien replied. "If your world carries the marks of the first ones." "Stop it," Reyes shouted. "You can't just—" But it was too late. The ship's systems were already locked in. The alien craft was transmitting waves of energy across the void, straight toward Earth's coordinates. Mara's blood ran cold. "They're going to find us. We must verify," the alien said calmly. "If you are remnants or intruders." The lights in the chamber darkened. A new tone filled the air, a deep, rhythmic pulse that made the humans' chests vibrate. The Seraphim turned toward them again. "If you are copies, you must be erased. Only truth may remain." Reyes stepped forward, his fists clenched. "We're not copies, we're alive. You can't erase us." The alien's glow flickered. "That is not for you to decide." Mara's communicator buzzed weakly. The link from their ship had reconnected for a moment. A faint voice crackled through. "Captain, this is Erebus Dawn. The alien vessel is integrating with our main reactor. Something's rewriting our quantum core." Her heart tightened. "They're going to use our ship," she whispered. Reyes stared at her. "For what?" "To complete the signal," she said. "They're going to broadcast Earth's position to whoever built them, or worse, to something else." They needed to stop it. Fast. Mara turned to the alien. If your creators are gone, then you're protecting ghosts. You don't understand what you're about to do. The alien tilted its head. We understand enough. The cycle must begin again. That was the last thing she needed to hear. Mara grabbed Reyes's arm. We're leaving, now. They sprinted back the way they came, following the faint hum of the power lines. Behind them, the Seraphins' voices echoed faintly in their minds. You cannot hide from what you are. The corridor of light reappeared when Mara's hand brushed a glowing wall. She didn't wait for permission. She jumped into the light bridge, her team right behind her. The world spun, colors blurred, and then they crashed back inside the Erebus Dawn, gasping. The ship's lights flickered wildly. Sparks flew from the ceiling. The central console flashed red warnings across every screen. Reyes ran to the engineering station. Captain, they've embedded a control key inside the main reactor. It's going to trigger a quantum collapse if they activate it. Mara's voice was steady. Can we stop it? Only from inside the core chamber, Reyes said. But the radiation, she didn't let him finish. I'll go. Captain, that's an order. Reyes hesitated but nodded. He knew arguing wouldn't change her mind. Mara was already heading down the maintenance shaft, moving through the trembling corridors of the damaged ship. The faint hum of alien energy pulsed through the metal beneath her boots. When she reached the reactor chamber, the sight made her pause. The entire core glowed with an eerie blue light, covered in alien symbols that moved across the surface like living runes. At the center, a crystal shard pulsed steadily. No human technology looked like that. Her radio crackled. Reyes's voice came through faintly. Captain, we're losing containment. You have about 60 seconds before it triggers. She took a breath. Understood. As she stepped closer, the alien voice returned, not through the comms, but inside her mind. You are not meant to exist. You are a mistake of time. Mara gritted her teeth. Maybe, but mistakes can still choose what they become. You cannot stop us. She placed her hand on the manual override lever. Watch me. The lever was old, mechanical, and heavy. When she pulled it, the ship's power system screamed. The lights flared white. The alien control shard cracked in half, sending a burst of blue energy across the chamber. The Erebus Dawn lurched violently, tearing free from the alien ship's hold. Up on the bridge, Reyes saw the massive Seraphim vessel distort and fold in on itself. Its surface shimmered, then collapsed into a point of light that vanished completely. The view outside was filled only with stars once more. Mara! Reyes shouted over the comm. The link is gone. You did it. But there was no answer. For a terrible moment, he thought she hadn't made it. Then the comm flickered again. Weak, but steady. I'm here, Mara said, her voice rough but alive. What's our status? The alien ship's gone, Reyes said. We're free. Mara exhaled slowly and slumped against the wall. Good. Then set a course back to human space. Let's go home. The journey back was long and quiet. None of them spoke much. The stars outside seemed colder now, less friendly than before. The universe felt bigger, older, and filled with secrets humanity had only begun to uncover. When Mara finally returned to the bridge, she looked out the viewport at the endless black. We sent out a call for help, she said softly, half to herself. And something answered, something that remembered the ones before us. Reyes joined her side. Do you think they'll come back? She thought for a moment. Maybe, but next time we'll be ready. The Erebus Dawn limped forward, her engines burning weakly against the dark. Behind them, the stars shimmered as if watching. Somewhere, far beyond human sight, other ancient ships might have heard the same SOS. But this time, humanity wasn't just a fragile echo. They were proof that even when the universe forgets, humans endure. The signal had gone wrong, but it had also lit a fire across the stars, a reminder that humanity was still here, still fighting, and still unbroken.